Welcome to the Generation Fit podcast. I'm your host, Coach Chris, my co-host, Coach Brett, Coach Paul, with a special guest, one of our clients, Aimee. And today, we talked about the 3 to 5 of the biggest myths we hear for desk working men. Funny things to defeat is myths, and I think these myths are still going to persist no matter in a world of AI. And the funny thing is, like, it's never going to be dispelled by AI because even if we have the right information, you still cannot prevent people from removing the food from their fork and taking it away from their mouth. So it's not going to change. And so I think we'll do the top 3 to 5 myths that we think of on top of our heads. So for you guys, is there anything major that you're like, I hear that you just hear it or see it all the time from friends, from family, from clients, colleagues? What would you say is like your top?
That lifting weights makes you slow.
Lifting weights makes you slow. Remember, this is also targeted towards men,
Yeah.
right? So lifting
That's a
weights
general
makes you
thing.
slow.
That's
Yeah,
something I've heard a
okay.
lot. Like, people who come from athletic backgrounds, used to play like, baseball, soccer, or whatever. Well, I don't want to like get slow and sluggish. It's like, lift weights. You've seen, oh, they're more bulky, therefore they're like less athletic and mobile. This is like an older myth. This is like not been as popular lately, but I still hear it a fair bit. It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
Yeah, it has to be to the extreme level, like in the sense
Yeah.
where you're
Oh, of
only
course.
4 to 5
You
days.
can't scratch your back, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
All
this
right,
is
I
like
didn't need to be attacked.
Actually, I disagree. Yes, you did, Paul. You need to be attacked more often. That's one thing I want people to take away from this podcast is like Paul deserves more hatred. That's why I'm here.
okay. So this is actually pretty interesting one.
I
So in
straight up
term
have to fucking push my arm to get my seatbelt.
Your seatbelt. Jesus.
I'm not shitting you. I really do.
my God, okay, you gotta get down some weight there. That's unacceptable.
Dude,
Like
that's been years. Like, even before I, like, super bulked. Like, I'm a wide, bro, you seen my frame? I'm wide as fuck.
just rotate your body. I mean, yes, but
I
like
don't
you
want
just
to rotate in my car.
all right. Anyways,
Cardio ruins your gains. That is a bullshit myth.
so these are good. These are actually pretty good. These are all also contextual. I think what Brett's saying is if you're just an average guy working a desk job and you lift 2 3 times a week, it actually, if anything, it would probably make you faster, right? Just because you have general strength in you now, right? More production of force. And then obviously at the extreme level, it's more of if you just love lifting like 5 days a week and you don't do any sort of explosive work and it's all bodybuilding, then that's where it starts to slow you down. But that's after you've gotten faster. So it's like, you know what I mean? So like if you were to do a run after you got to a point, it would drop off like a bell curve. Like, sure. But that's that extreme. And I always, it's funny, it's like I'm doing sprints now. Even as a guy who's super active, it's like if I don't sprint, I know I will strain a hamstring when I actually try to sprint. So that's why I'm now incorporating more prowlers, sleds, sprints in general to most people's programming going forward. Because I was like, I think people are just losing that regard, especially with the Achilles. The Achilles and the hamstrings are two things I worry about now, just because I think everybody's losing it. Like, when was the last time you guys did like single leg hops?
I
When I
don't know that I have
competed
ever
in
done that.
personal.
What is this? What is this thing you call single and leg in the same sentence?
I do single leg stuff all the time, but hop,
Yeah.
that one's foreign. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I love unilateral leg work. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't go like a block without some kind of like unilateral leg work in there somewheres, right? Like, I love Bulgarians. Single leg press is fucking dope. I've been doing a shit ton of like kickstand, Romanian deadlifts lately.
Very nice.
I'm a huge believer in in having single leg work in any kind of like strength based programming or hypertrophy based programming, just to keep you like evened out. I feel like if all you're doing is like dual leg, bilateral stuff, then you're just gonna end up like favoring your dominant leg over your um whatever the other one is. I can't words right now. But you're just going to like lean too much into your dominant leg, and your other leg will eventually just lag behind, right? So just like I just do it because I think it makes me more even overall, and I never end up with like shifting issues like that ever, really.
Yep. Well, that's why. I mean, Jaime notices that there's always a single leg movement in every block. It's because of that. Just so you're never having hip,
Yeah,
lower back pain.
Bulgarians is one of those exercises that I love to hate. Like, yeah, it's like I love it,
because of the results I get, but I hate doing it just because of how much suffering goes into it. But
It is the worst.
it's just like, let's get it over with. Let's get, and I by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was good. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. 100% is. In terms of single leg, or in terms of just speed, it's like, you trust me, most people are gonna be faster, and then you just have to practice doing fast things. So that's how it goes for the average person. If you're already an athlete, then yes, then we can talk a little bit differently. But this is obviously a podcast for average desk working men. And in terms of cardio, it's actually the same premise. It's the same thing. It's a bell curve once more, right? And that's why it's so important. So if okay, I think you have to put context though, as always. So if you're working out 2-3 times a week, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw 2 days, 3 days of cardio, that's fine. But as long as your strength numbers are maintaining or progressing, because if you're taking away from that, that's where it's bleeding in. So it's basically a bell curve. So like if you're doing 0, it's like, okay, you probably would do a lot better if you just did some cardio. And then if you do like 1 or 2 days, it's probably perfect. And then 3 or 4, if it starts to bleed into working out, then that's where it starts killing your gains. But I think, what's funny? I think all this is just marketing. All of it has to be marketing, just so it gets you to get the click, get the click, buy the supplement, follow this influencer. It's right. I mean, do you guys believe that?
I feel like there's some truth to that. You see all these like supplement companies like peddling, fat burners and stuff like that.
Jesus, that's a myth right there in itself. That one and amino acids.
So I still have a ton of amino acids.
I mean, what's crazy is like the context of that's nuts. Like you have to be fasting, you have to work out in the morning, and like you didn't get enough protein the day before. So like it's really just like at its practical use, it's really just more flavored water. And so here's the thing. It's more of like if you have the luxury to spend money on it, it's like, sure, I'm not gonna tell you no, but like don't use that as like the biggest thing that you should allocate your budget to on average. So if you already have it, it's like, all right, use it. Like just use it. Why not? Kind of scenario. But everything else should be catered towards more like creatine, whey protein, caffeine, magnesium, L-theanine, right? All that kind of stuff. What about you, Jaime? What's like a big myth for you that you've heard from your friends, colleagues, or even when you
The
started off?
most common one that I hear is from like girls when they're, because when they're talking about working out and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I do a little cardio here and there. I'm like, well, why don't you lift? Like, or they're trying to swim. Like, lifting is probably the one thing that's going to help you keep it off longer than cardio. And their answer is always, I don't want to get bulky. And I'm just like, you're not going to get bulky if you're not eating to get bulky. It's just exercise at that point. You're going to see benefits from it more than you'll see, like, muscle-wise. Yeah, you'll tone up, but you won't get bulky because you're not eating the protein that you need to get to that size, at least. At least that's the way I understand it.
Yeah, it's a complete misconception on the female side, and I get it, right? It's the whole point is that it would. I mean, this is so in depth, but the whole point was that it was always in the 70s and 80s was rebellious culture to show skin, right? And all the guys at the time, like all the government factors were like, oh, we should do that, but that's what happened. But then if you think about it, from the 90s to 2000s, it was cocaine babies, and so we had the thin ones, right? I forgot there's a name for them. That was like the premise was to be like sticks. Paris Hilton was like what the leading, the gal at the time, and she was a stick. Imagine coming from that and then going into this generation now, and it's like I can 100% believe that there's definitely still some stigma of being like, oh, lifting weights makes you bulky, when in reality it's more of like your body fat percentage is high, and then if you start lifting, it's like I can see why you could interpret it as like, oh, I'm gonna put more muscle on as I'm trying to lose fat, and then it's like this whole brain thing. It's basically all in their heads, but it's very true. Like, and also you don't have to like I think for females, the ratio of exercises that you could do, like I even do this with my girlfriend. I'm like, I 2x all of her pulling and all of her legs. Like, there's no reason for her to be, I don't know, unless there's a reason to be her to be doing 2x up vertical pushing and 2x horizontal pushing. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for her to do all those things. So like if you program it the right way, it's like, why not do the things that matter the most anyways? Like the hamstrings, the glutes, the back. Right. I'm just thinking out loud, but maybe I'm just too analytical and I'm not close to reality anymore with being non-scientific.
Monday. Bro, that's the 80.
That song is copyrighted. Now we can't use any of this. Thanks a lot, Paul. Jesus fuck.
What?
So that song was copyrighted. Now we can't use any of this. Fuck.
Nah, that's just like a commercial that I heard the other day. No copyright infringement. I watch Suits, so I'm basically our team's lawyer. We're good.
That is actually how that works. Yes.
I'm only on episode 4 of that right now.
Bro, you will love that show. Surprised
I'm
you
already
haven't
liking it.
watched it.
I just once I play video games, I never
You're
watch
gonna
any
be
show.
such a Harvey stan. It's not even funny. I could already tell Harvey's gonna be your favorite character.
He reminds me of he reminds me of my dad if he had a little bit more whiteness to him. So kind of explain it, but we'll see. Like I think I like the show in general. I think it's fun. It's fun. It's fun with some discipline along with it. Yeah. Any other big myths that you've been hearing recently?
I mean, the old adage of like the second you take steroids, you're gonna be looking like the Hulk.
That's obvious. So it takes a whole week.
I mean, Clav is a great example of that right now. He's been on it for 4 years, 5 years.
Clavicular.
Remember we had our last week's conversation. Clavicular has been on it for like 4 years, and look at him.
Bro, he got his ass kicked by a BJJ guy. He went to, or it might have just been a random dude. Either way, they were in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu club, and Clavicular got fucking tossed and choked out. Like, bro, you can't be like, oh, I'm looks maxing and I'm an alpha, and then like you get your shit kicked in and you're a little, like, and literally, it took this dude 15 seconds. 15
Yeah, of course.
seconds.
Dude, what do you expect? You're BJJ specialist fighting or grappling a kid who has never done anything outside of just try to look better physically.
Why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't I be the one?
I mean, all I'm saying is, it's like, yeah, you went to one other guy's realm. Like the whole point is, Clavicular has physically any physical prowess does not exist, right? Like in terms of athleticism, in terms of anything else, he is purely there because he gets status from getting the looks from girls, and also having other guys wanting to be like that. So, yeah, of course. I mean, dude, what do you expect?
I'm just happy that it happened.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I think I still get most is the supplements. Like I think I get people are like, should I take tests? Should I take like a test? You have the fake test boosters from GNC. Should I take the fat burners? Are obviously up there. Then it just goes down the list, like all the way across the board. And obviously, and to be fair, I fell for it when I was younger, walking into GNC. I thought I was the cool kid. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna get the raw and like the raw extend BCAAs. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this fat burner called Phoenix. And I mean, it sounds pretty cool.
It's a great name for a fat burner.
It's fantastic. The testosterone booster, 475,000 from GNC's top of the line. I remember I fell for a lot of that stuff when I was younger, and it was just all marketing, 100% all marketing. None of that stuff actually works. Literally cannot. What's really messed up there is that all that stuff just heats up your body, whether it's through like capsaicin, which is in cayenne pepper, but it just heats up your body and it actually burns like a little bit more calories. Right, so that's what fat burners actually do. And at that point, you might as well just go make eggs and eat it with hot sauce.
What's the one? There was a brand that had one. BSN, I think it was what it was called.
Sure, yeah, that's a good. That's a company.
They had a pre-workout that had like it was marketed as a pre-workout fat burner. And when you looked at the label, all it did was it had cayenne pepper in there. Like that was it. That was it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's how you get capsaicin. Anything that heats up your body, that burns. So like, even like ginger would do the same thing as well. But nobody likes to have a taste of ginger right before they lift, unless they're psychotic. That'd be ridiculous. Oh, you know what's a huge one? I still get this to this day, and most corporate guys actually say this, or still talk to me about this, is carbs. Chris, I cannot eat carbs specifically after 6, 8, 10 p.m. Can I eat anything after X o'clock? Easily one of the biggest ones. I don't know how many times you guys got this. I'm glad Jaime didn't like fall into this camp.
I mean,
I love
I'm
carbs.
pretty
That's why.
opposed.
Keep me
I
away from the chips and the tortillas, bro.
it just
Because I will inhale this motherfuckers.
it just falls into the fat dieting thing. Like all the fat diet stuff is just fucking terrible. Oh, you have to be, you have to do intermittent fasting, you have to do keto, you have to do carnivore, you have to do this, you have to do that. All they really are, except for keto, pursuing ketosis, which is a very real thing. I don't recommend it still. All they really do is they limit the amount of like things you can have, and therefore your calorie count will just drop because you're limiting either how much things you have or how often you could eat. That's all those diets do. They're not any special. They're doing crazy. It's just a weird way to change your calorie like intake. That's all they are, all the time.
What was the other one? The carnivore diet.
Yeah, carnivore diet, same thing, right? Like, oh, you can't have anything else that's not just protein, right? So, like, how much protein do you eat per day? Now it's like 200 grams. And guess what? You're satiated all the time. Your energy levels are super even. You don't have like carb spikes. So, yeah, you feel pretty good. You aren't hungry. Is your food that tasty? Not really, because you're just eating meat straight up. But aside from that, like, you're gonna lose weight more or less because you just are not eating that much food. How much steak can you put down in a sitting with nothing else?
You'd
Like,
be surprised, my friend.
Yeah,
I
us
would not.
maybe. Us maybe like a pound or two, but like everybody else, yeah, no shot. Like nobody else would want to actually do that. It's gonna be,
Bro, I want to try that
There was this
72
guy
ounce
that used to.
steak challenge.
dude, you can nail that easily. I don't know what you're talking, dude. You could trust me, man. After doing, I've done what 5 food challenges, and steak is not the hardest one. Was
Hot dog eating was in your resume.
I was Joey Chestnut's trainer, and I was training beside him just to make sure it was friendly some competition while he was doing it. He ate 107, and I had 20. Yeah, I think the hardest, the hardest thing was to actually keep down was the carbs. It was never the meat. It was never the meat for me. Like I could down it. Like it was weird because like obviously we all know protein is the most filling next to fiber. Fiber is probably number 1, but meat should be number 2. But then when you're going at mass quantities, I don't know what it was, but like it was like the bread. It was always the French fries, the potatoes. That like it just sat there heavy, fast, like the biggest gut punch when I was
So
doing
that's
it.
the thing, is like you're full fast off of those, where like protein and all the meat, you're going to be satiated. You know what I mean? So like the rest of the day, you're not going to feel hungry because of all the meat. But like, so that's what makes those challenges hard, is the fact that like carbs gives you that instant fullness. It's the same reason why you eat like sugary carbs before a lift. Like it's readily available. Quick, boom, bang, boom. You know.
Those honey waffle things. Right.
Honey waffles. I haven't heard those. I haven't seen those in a long time. But yeah, those will work.
I saw them at the gas station the other day. I was grabbing a protein bar and they had the little. It was like those the Dutch stoop waffle things like that, and it was just honey. And
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Oh my god, that's fantastic. I mean, I think CrossFit's the one that really popularized that. So like before CrossFit was the bodybuilders, but the bodybuilders did the pixie sticks, right? Like straight dextrin to the dome. Like that is as close to just shooting up insulin.
Nah, man, Rice Krispies.
Rice
Fucking
Krispies was a
Rice
whole
Krispies.
generation.
Fuck, I love Rice Krispies. Like during a lift, like a long lift. Fuck yeah.
Paul's favorite.
I used to have a stash in Hoboken, and somebody fucking touched my stash the one time, and I went on a manhunt the rest of the goddamn day.
You're saying in the gym, right? Because I was like in the house. I was like, Kevin doesn't eat Rice Krispies. And I was like, I never ate Rice Krispies.
No, I was in the gym.
Yeah, I'll say.
It was fucking Dillard.
And what are you gonna do about it?
That.
I will toss Dillard. I will fucking toss him.
What?
For context,
I don't
Jaime.
know about that.
For context, Jaime, this man that we're speaking of is a 6'1", solid lean muscle of 205, sitting between 200 and 210 pounds on average. Deadlift 600 and change pounds for fun, with shoulders that barely can get fit through doorways. Like a genetic freak, by the way, like complete genetic freak.
He's also a super chill and very intelligent guy.
Yes.
He's currently going back to school for some form of psychology. And I just have this image in my brain of like he won't get into actual therapy. He might do like sports therapy later on down the line sometime. But like I have this image of him in my brain where he's like, you walk into your therapist's office and you sit down, you turn to see your therapist, and it's Dillard, and he's there with like a sweater vest on, no shirt underneath the sweater vest, just a quilted white beater, and you go with like very tiny glasses and a notepad that he's holding while he's like just doing like a fucking full muscular at you the entire time. You're just like, he's like, so what brings you into your day? And you're just like, well, it was my issues with my father, but now I have crippling body dysmorphia. He's just like, all right, how's Bill Gates' chest?
Think of
See you in
like
2
Terry.
weeks.
Think of Terry Crews. I'm not even joking. Think of like Terry Crews.
I think he's better than Terry Crews is.
I think of like Terry Crews, but like maybe a little smaller, like probably like 30 pounds smaller, and that's still freaky. That's still freaky.
Terry Crews is also on gear, so there's that.
Yeah. I can't wait to actually put this up and at Terry Crews.
I'll toss Terry Crews too.
Yikes.
Fuck him. No,
Yikes.
I love you, Terry. You right, son. It ain't easy being cheesy, brother.
It ain't easy being cheesy. That's a great movie. Yes, I think going back to the conclusion, it actually doesn't matter. You know what's funny? I actually am on the other side of the spectrum. I actually tell my clients to eat more carbs at night to help them sleep, because everybody's like, oh, you can't have carbs at a certain time, and I'm like, dude, like what? It's the opposite side. I'm like, man, if I have an allocation of 2,000 calories in a day, it's like I'm trying to get like 60 to 80% towards the end of the day to help me knock out, at least like close to that. As long as I'm not working out, at like 6 a.m. for this as I'm speaking. So that is huge. So if anybody listen to this right now, it's like you're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat carbs past like 6 o'clock. It's like, all right, well, you're gonna shove it down your mouth between breakfast, lunch, and snack, and then just eat nothing for dinner, and then go to sleep hungry. It's like, nah, that's not fun. Nah, that's not fun at all. I'd rather have my pasta. You know, my pasta. Have maybe
Food coma.
yeah, I'd rather have my small food coma going into bed versus in the middle of the day. Which brings us to the next topic: is the whole breakfast being the best meal or the most important meal of the day. I will stand by it. I call bullshit.
Yeah, it's all marketing from Kellogg's.
It is marketing from Kellogg's. It actually is marketing from Kellogg's. It is.
I
like
mean,
the way it's set up now.
The issue with breakfast is always just like breakfast as defined by like, Kellogg's and other cereal corporations is it's mostly just dessert. That's the main issue. You're like, hey, here's some like hyper palatable, super sugary cereals, and you're gonna pour some full fat milk on top of that. It's like a random shot of like 800 to 1,000 calories for no fucking reason whatsoever. Good luck, Godspeed. And then so on your way. What a fucking terrible way to start a day. If you're actively trying to like lose weight, like breakfast is probably the best meal to skip. Get up, have black coffee, maybe get some protein powder in there or a protein bar. Satiate you for a few hours. You don't need like a whole fucking meal to start your day off with. You're just gonna get hungrier later on, anyways.
It's just I think it's the conventional breakfast that really fucks everybody up, and that's why I stand so far by it. Because General Mills, right? I mean, you can go deep into this, and basically, like the setup of it was since butter and this whole cholesterol thing went to low fat, and then they were like, well, we're gonna put everything with low fat. Guess what's the best thing? High carb. And so that's where all the grains got in. Whole grains got into the pyramid and all that stuff. Breakfast itself, it's not that it's bad. You know what's funny? It's like it's not the context is the breakfast isn't bad. No meal is inherently bad. It's that we tie it to cereal, pancakes, waffles, and then what are the protein sources? Heavy fat meats, pork, sauce, like bacon, sausage. Well, I'm missing another one.
Bacon, sausage.
Ham is the best one of all of them. So
Yeah.
Ham is the macro friend.
Real quick side tangent. When I got home just now, somebody ordered scrambled eggs and bacon at like 8 o'clock at night, and it just ended up in my apartment by mistake. But it was like not yet. It's like and there's a timestamp on it. It was ordered at like 8 o'clock, so like it falls within certain food service range. I'm just like, man, go for some bacon right now.
I could go
Bacon's
some
an
bacon.
anytime kind of food.
Absolutely is. Bacon is just like I think, yeah, random salty, fatty meat on whatever.
So it is bagel sandwiches. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
as much as I love a regular bagel sandwich, like the cost of it per
Uh-huh.
bagel sandwich, like the normal bagel, so 2 eggs. That's everything bagel. Gotta have it cooked in butter, right? It's always cooked in butter, or at least remnants of it. Plus the meat, it's like at least the low end is like 700 calories.
Yeah, for sure.
Normal is
Yeah,
1,000.
there's a bagel spot, my new place. It's like maybe a 5-minute walk. It's called B Bagels, and they have like a cheesesteak bagel that like absolutely fucks. It's actually so good.
Every time I'm in
So
Jersey, I always get a big lunch. But that's why. Like imagine if you had. It's just like think of it like money, right? If you had $2,000, like you had to spend $2,000 every day, right? And you're telling me like, hey, I'm gonna go spend $1,000 in the first hour of my waking moment, and then you have 20, and then and it's like, all right, I have another 15, 16 hours of waking hours to only spend the next 1,000. You're like, that does not sound like fun at all. It's not fun at all. And like, imagine like going into your workout and you're like, oh, I only have like 40 calories left of the day after a hard workout. Like that is brutality.
Yeah, that was something I did notice when we were snowed in, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this opportunity to actually cook some breakfast or whatever. My breakfast was somewhere between 900 to like 1,000 calories, and it was like egg whites. It was like a couple of egg whites, a couple of slices of cheese, one egg, and turkey bacon or beef bacon. But it was still like 1,000 calories, and that was just like Jesus. That's like half of what I'm gonna allowed to eat in calorie wise for this vlog. It's just like ridiculous. It was just I'd rather stick with like the thing is like around what 400 if I do banana and a protein shake, something like that. So it's a huge difference. And I'm just as full just with the protein shake and the banana instead of eating a big ass plate of food.
100%. It's just a shame because, like, I mean, especially definitely down the East Coast, actually, diners are a huge thing. And I remember, like, my favorite thing to eat at diners was like just a general plate, right? Of usually it'd be like what 2, 3 eggs, piece of meats, couple piece of meat. You get some home fries slash potatoes, and then some places
Wow.
hash browns. Some places will give you like toast, or they give you like small order pancakes with it, right? Like that's a fantastic American meal. 1,200 calories down the drain. Like in
Cracker Barrel.
is Cracker Barrel? Oh my god, dude, New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but New Jersey has so many. It's so mom and pop shop friendly here. So or there, I should say, that there's just so many good breakfast spots out there.
We used to have one that was really good. Then when the ownership changed, the food got kind of bland.
They were taking away my seasonings.
I was just like, come on, man. I go to Cracker Barrel now if I had to.
That's such a shame. It's such a shame when that happens. All right. Is there any other like biggest ones? Well, I guess we'll just shoot on top of our heads and see which one's the biggest one. So, any more big myths that you guys have been hearing before we head off?
The Arnold press is a great exercise.
Arnold press, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I think we've had this conversation before.
I'm 100% with Jaime on this one. The Arnold press is very overrated. Please, if you could find one video of Arnold performing the Arnold press, I would love to see it. Okay, I think a big one is that
I think this is where we got into the whole conversation about Arnold being a huge troll.
hell yeah, dude. He is. Arnold's fucking awesome. I love Arnold. But like, yeah, that guy was fucking with people all the time. It was amazing. All right, big bets. You have to be in the gym like 6 days a week to see any progress.
If you're enjoying this podcast so far, please subscribe, share with a friend, and all right, back to the show.
To be fair, that ain't even like a bad hear me out. Like, that ain't that wild. Like, literally, all she is green. Like at that point, if you just bang Mrs. Olympia and then paint her green, that's She-Hulk right there. Or Mr. I don't know, whatever's up your alley. Like, throw a wig on him. Yeah, one of the other tattoo artists at my shop, fucking his hear me out is Lola Bunny. I'm like, bruh. Which like, to be fair, I guess, but like, I just pick
How
on him
old
because
is
it's
he?
a fucking rabbit.
Hold up. How old is he? This is important.
Oh, he's 39.
That makes sense then. Not tracks.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, he
knows
was
it.
there for original Space Jam.
Yes. Dude, the remake was horrendous.
I have not seen the remake, but I've seen the original, and that explains a lot.
It wasn't good. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like the premise is cool. It's basically like they got sucked up into NBA 2K or whatever the fuck it is. I don't play that shit. But like they put fucking LeBron into it. LeBron's never gonna be like. I'm also squishing this fucking debate into the ground. LeBron is never gonna be as good as Michael Jordan. Like, get the fuck out of
No
here.
one is. No one is. All right.
Okay, I don't know much about basketball. I'm not a basketball guy. I
Okay,
would
it's like
say that
it's like somebody saying
LeBron is probably a better athlete than Jordan was during his prime. Jordan was much more dominant because the field wasn't as strong overall. The overall player quality right now is so much higher. LeBron is like probably better than Jordan was, but like relative to the field he's playing against, he's not as strong a player.
I don't think we can make that argument though, because I mean, if you look at those teams for the night, the Pistons, they were animals, man. Like Celtics were good
Yeah,
for a
back when no one
period
knew
of
how to play the
time.
fucking game. Yeah,
Larry,
100%.
Larry Bird was still
and the
kicking
game
at
was
that
so
point.
much more physical back then.
Yeah.
Like LeBron gets nudged by his own teammate and he's like, my arm's broken for 5 games. I lost my tampon in the locker room.
And I like LeBron, but I'll agree that he'll never be Jordan, though.
You know, he's a little bitch. He literally yells at there's clips of him yelling at his teammates for not passing the ball. When they had a wide open shot, he's like, "What are you doing?" Like he's like that kid that tries hard in gym class that yells at everybody to give him the ball, and it's 8 a.m. PE.
Favorite class ever. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, to be fair, it's like I don't know all the statistics and all that kind of stuff, but I think
I mean,
kind of
stat-wise, LeBron, I think, is ahead, but, you know, he's also played more than Jordan.
It's basically like saying Sidney Crosby would beat Wayne Gretzky. Fuck out of here.
I think there is merit. So if I were to actually pull it up, there is merit in the sense of the pure athleticism. If you just took if you took like almost like a pentagram or a hexagram and you put in like different attributes, I think the leading one that Jordan always has is just his clutch factor. I think that's really what it is. It's like this clutch factor and the fact that he has 6 championship rings. It's just parallel to everybody else. I think that's truly what it is. Because like if you did the other ones in this hexagram, so to speak, you would look at it and be like, okay, speed, pretty identical, probably LeBron, right? It's like jumping. It's like, okay, Michael Jordan has a little bit more of that. Shooting, it's like we statistically have these actual data points. Howdy. Well, Jordan was getting freaking elbowed by the time he got up to the freaking, like, you know what I mean? Like, you actually do, like, it's really probably pretty tight. But I think if you look at it, like, the last beats of it, I really think it comes down to, for example, grit, clutch, championships, right? And then I think it leans towards Michael Jordan. So I think most people should be on the same boat in terms of athleticism. Pure sports would go to LeBron, and he's still great. And then Michael Jordan is the greatest at that point. But I don't know why it's so contentious. I feel like people can actually like pretty much break it down by now.
All I'm saying is LeBron's a chokeaholic.
I mean, he carried one of the teams, the Cavaliers one year. It was just him. It was basically just him.
It's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland hasn't produced a good sports team in fucking ever.
I think the Indians made it to the playoffs one year.
They probably paid somebody.
Or the World Series like 4 or 5 years ago. And that was...
How you really feel?
I fucking hate Ohio.
Oh, God. I mean, just wait till you're like, imagine if you were into like football, like the Ohio State University.
Yeah, no, the horseshoe, fucking classic. I guarantee you that Ohio State's football team could probably beat the Cleveland Browns. I'll bet some money on that shit. The Browns are horrendous. My high school team could beat the Browns.
Okay.
Fucking 5'4" freshman, 210, just fucking lineman up against the 6'8", fucking 350-pound.
Dude, you know what's funny? I think they did this in basketball. They got the statistical worst player in NBA, and he went online and was like, "Hey guys, anybody can 1v1 me right now and be at this gym," and they did it, and he wrecked everybody.
Yeah,
everybody that was not even like in semi-pros, even international, like people who just met him up there. He like posted it, and played against him, and he played like I think 10 games straight. and nailed every. Like, I don't think people scored a cumulative total of over 10 points,
Yeah,
which
that's
makes a lot
kind
of
of cool
sense.
though. Being able to go and play against a pro like that, just a pickup game. That's fucking
1v1.
insane.
1v1 against the
Do you
worst
think
player in
you could-
NBA.
You get 10 at bats. Do you think you could hit off of a major league pitcher?
Yes, 100%. Am I in my shape right now? No. If you give me like a couple weeks of practice, I definitely could. At the level I was playing at, 3 of the guys got drafted. I was the only one. Oh, well, my high school team was trash.
Sorry.
But hitting was my strong suit. It was power. That was like I just didn't have massive power out of every hit. That was easy. But in terms of MLB hitter now, like a pitcher now, it's like raw dogging it. Hell no, there's no way. Give me a couple weeks. It's like, yeah, I 1 out of 10. You tell me I go 1 for 10, a 10 or 100 batting average. I 100% could do that. 100%.
I do have a question about baseball. When did Italy get good at baseball though?
No. It's not in the so sort of Italian Italy. So they were the second.
They did fucking good though.
It's USA 2.0.
It was USA versus USA 2 point. Yeah, it's essentially it was only like 2 actual Italian born players this past BBC. Like 2 or 3.
So twofold basically, because the one idea goes into this other clip I saw. So that show, it was Joe's versus Pros. I fucking miss that show. And it's basically the premise of what we just talked about, of like they would have a team of like they would have 3 average dudes or like ex-athletes, like whatever, relive the glory days, and they would go head to head with pros in different like contests. So it's like, can you beat Eli Manning in an accuracy football gauntlet shit? Or like, could you hit off of fucking
Otani.
whoever? Yeah, like, or could you hit it past like Derek Jeter, or steal off of Pedroia, like stupid shit like that, which then premise this other guy did. He got famous on TikTok and social media for doing like standing outside Planet Fitness or ShopRite or all these places, and it would be like you get $1 or $10 for every 10 reps you hit of like whatever weight, or
I've seen those.
yeah, like you
He'll have like
whatever.
a setup for like a bar or something, and then
Yeah, or like if you hit
pull-ups or whatever.
315, every rep of 315 or whatever, you get $100 or some shit. He did a clip of average guys versus female athletes, like lifters. So the one lady was like, I work out every day. If I'm not at the gym, I'm doing Pilates. If it's not Pilates, I'm doing yoga or spin class. The other one was a power lifter. And
Bless
sorry,
you.
the last one was like a CrossFitter or some shit. So you had a power lifter. Basically, women had training, men didn't. And it was like, can guys who really don't work out in physical competitions beat women that like trained? People aren't gonna like the answer to that one.
So it hasn't been answered, or it has?
No, it has. Like the dude already made the clip. Like the dude's won. Like
Yeah, I mean, I could have told you that. Like from at least, I mean, no, I would say like probably. Let me take a guess. Probably 1 or 2, or at least 5, less than 5% of the women could dominate the average guys who did not touch a single weight or exercise ever. You know, but like everybody else probably was completely dominated.
yeah. Like the one event that the women actually did win was deadlifts. So each person had to do a set of 10, and then
President in squats.
yeah, well, it was like 135 on the bar. It was nothing. Like I literally fucking arm curl that shit. Like, and I mean, you don't have endurance training at all, so it's like you're not going to be able to continuously do. Like, we'll gas out after a few rounds of 10 reps, even. But it's interesting. I like that type of shit of like, you have somebody from one background and you put them against somebody of like a similar aspect, but a different sports background. So you have like a footballer versus a basketball player, and like you do whatever, or like
Didn't they have a whole Asian show about this on Netflix recently? In the past couple of years, like they took every Asian guy, every discipline. I think it was Chinese.
I saw that, and then like the one woman was like jacked as fuck, and like the really skinny Asian guy beat the shit out of her, ripped the ball away from her. Like he didn't actually beat her. Like he didn't. Yeah, like he just dominated the event, which like she was 3 times his size.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of Asian guys and girls, and they were all from different backgrounds, like from rock climbing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, and then like the events would span from every single one of their specialties. So they would take, like, for example, the events would be like rock climbing, gymnastic stuff. Then it would be like posing and powerlifting, right? And then obviously like the people that were specialized. But I think the biggest carryover for anybody was gymnastics and rock climbing were the two biggest things that carried over to every other event. Which is, I mean, that's pretty much spot on. Because if you do gymnastics, your body control is insane. And you still have nasty strength. And then rock climbing,
Those guys are insane though.
Yeah, like you're shorter because you're stunted how many years of slamming your joints down. But but rock climbers, because they are relatively strong, right? Because they need to have such low, the least amount of useless mass on their body to move while having the nastiest grip strength, which is like arguably where most people fail anyways in terms of lifting, especially with pulling. So if you already have good strength, good CNS connection to your grip, I mean, that's why some people can just lift hundreds of pounds without being that strong. Most of it just being.
Bro, that Juji Mufu guy that was known for like the splits and shit, he did a video with Brian Shaw, and they were both with, I think the dude's like one of the top 5 rock climbers in the world or some shit. And he
Magnus Pinto.
rode, what? Yeah. And he rode 4 plates like it was nothing on the rower. Basically, he went rep for rep with these guys, but like you saw the struggle in their face, and the dude was like, "Oh, this is just another Tuesday, like whatever." Never
Yes.
lifted, but the weird thing is like he never lifted conventionally, like he never stepped foot and lifted like actual weights. He just rock climbed, and they're like he has perfect form, and he's making this effortless.
Yeah, I saw that video. I remember seeing this video actually. I'll probably do a review of it, and it actually makes perfect sense. When he's pulling, he's not engaged. Like the premise is like bodybuilders are, you're trying to make it as hard as possible, the least amount of weight. So when you do get stronger, it's objective relative to the past weight. When you're a rock climber, you're physically just trying to move. And so I'm not discrediting his strength whatsoever, but he also just doesn't feel it in his back per se, right? Like he's not really worried about squeezing. He's just pulling, it's just a pull. And so that's like basically it's just difference of intent. And so that's why I was mentioning earlier, like rock climbers are professional rock climbers are disgustingly strong. And to be fair, if I would have like a perfect week ever and I could do whatever physically I wanted to, like literally without detriment to my time, rock climbing would be one group. Gymnastics would be another. Taekwondo or some sort of martial art. Like it would be on top of my like 3 days a week strength training. Like that would be like the perfect ideal week of all. It's just to be so well rounded. It's like rock climbing is a whole crazy ordeal. You know how much fatigue there is in that grip, just holding on by the fingertips.
And the angles that they put you at, like sometimes you're like this, like
And you're pressing,
just hanging on. Yeah.
Yeah, my last class in college was rock climbing. That was the last class I took before my finals, and
What?
I remember. Yeah. Oh my god, it was great. It was with Dr. Casebolt. It's a fantastic class. I remember
I don't think we have rock
it was like
climbing.
I just forgot to take like a P, like a P class was 1 credit. That was like a lot credit I needed. Oh, it was fantastic though. I remember, you know how disappointed I was? He was like, okay, you see these things on the wall, there's grades on them. So like 1.1, 1.2, whatever. And I finished one side of the wall and I was like, I am the freaking rock climbing god. And then I turn around the wall and I'm like, yeah, that was level, like that was like beginner. Now you're at like beginner intermediate. Right. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I turned that corner and I was like, okay, now we'll go to the 2.1s. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're telling me I took a whole semester to do all these walls. It's still like 11 walls, and then 11 whatever tracks, and then I turn the corner and it's another 11 tracks, and I turn another corner, it's another 11 tracks, and I'm like, oh my god. And they said that even the best professionals can't even do the level, like what there's an actual like number system to it. Can't even do some of the ones that are in these rock climbing gyms. So it is hard. It is very hard, and it's not meant for bodybuilders or anybody who lifts heavy at all. It's actually like detrimental to be strong, like heavy with your legs and stuff.
Then
You
there's a
know who's
place
insane?
nearby here.
You know who's insane? The people that do it off of the urban rock climbers. The people that do that shit on the side of skyscrapers with like no ropes or nothing.
The daredevils.
Fuck that.
Yeah, dude. That's why they're famous, right? That's why they get all those views and streams and stuff like that. Then one guy just do like I forgot. It's in New York City, but didn't somebody just do like the twin like the towers or something like that, or the two buildings in the city not too long ago. It was a whole Netflix documentary about that. There's a guy who did it in Dubai. Oh yeah, all these crazy feats. I would love to see it. I would really, really love to see it. I mean, I think now more than ever, it's like you can get, if you're good at anything, you can get exposure really, really fast, which is really cool because like obviously if somebody does that, it's pretty sweet. But
Well, look how many stupid gym videos got people recognized. Like that one dude that would put literally anything on his back and do a squat. He was like squatting with like a seesaw on his back or some shit.
There was a guy that did his entire garage, and it was like a lawnmower, a GameCube, a chain belt.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And he labels most of his videos now as training for his first badminton tournament.
There you go. Yeah, so you have plenty of guys like that. Thanks for watching this podcast. If you'd enjoyed this podcast, please share with a friend. Please subscribe and follow us on my Instagram. Mine is Coach_Chris Lee.